Hello, everybody. My name is Tim. Um, I was introduced to a gentleman last night that uh, seemed like a fantastic guy. Um, he introduced me to the Amazon Web Services client for vibe coding, essentially vibe coding games, and he introduced me to a not necessarily a competition, but sort of submission thing to vibe code some retro games. I thought that sounded pretty fantastic. When I was trying to decide on what sort of game to present, essentially, I was having a little bit of difficulty. I wanted to make a racer, kind of like a Miami Vice type 2D platform thing, just kind of running around. Even tried to do like a Mario type platformer. None of it really worked for me. And then I remembered I actually have developed a Pokemon game for the Flipper Zero to try and relive some of the old memories of playing on the Game Boy. The beauty of the Flipper Zero is it is on a 128 by 64 monochrome screen, so I had to learn how to work with that, but I used primarily C programming language. One of the things one of the things that I saw with a lot of submissions was people recreating retro games. Thought it was fantastic. I did kind of want to do something a little different since I had already built a game before. I wanted to test the capabilities of the Amazon client and see if it could translate, if I gave it access to my C folders, my headers, all of that, if it could translate that into Python and make a Py game. And it turns out, I'll show you the results real fast. This is essentially how it translated. I'll show you the original in a second, because there are some things that I want to go back and change. But essentially, you just press enter, 1v1 battle. You can choose from a multitude of different Pokemon, primarily all the first 151 original generation. That's what it was coded originally within the C program for the Flipper. But let's go ahead, and everybody loves Pikachu. I didn't tell it to fill out any of the HP, attack, defense, speed, anything. It took that data from the code that I had presented it brought it over to the screen, it colorized it. Somehow it knew that it was electric meant yellow, and it looks like within the bars, if it's very poor HP, if it's on the kind of lower end of the health, lower end of the attack and whatnot, it automatically stylized it as red. Red bad. Cool. Yellow, medium, and I believe green means that it's better than average. So, thought that was pretty fascinating. So let's go ahead and pick Pikachu here. And, oh, I messed up. Turns out I already selected Growlithe previously. And so Pikachu is the enemy that I'm going against. I did give it access to some PNG files for the Pokemon sprites. It didn't seem to have taken that. I can go through in a second and show you the thought process behind what the client was actually doing when it was translating the code from C programming to Python. Anyway, so go ahead, we'll select Fire Blast, power is 110, so let's see, his HP is 95, we'll see, does that knock him out? It doesn't. It does 73 damage, which probably means that it took the formulation that I had within the Flipper program and copied that over, so that's pretty cool. And it automatically, Pikachu automatically attacked, so the AI, it took care of that. So we'll do Fire Punch, and I win, because I knocked him out. I gotta fix it, because I don't see how much damage I took. But essentially, that's the basic version of the game. I plan to make some renditions to it. Hopefully, not get sued by Pokemon Company, but we'll figure that out. Anyways, this is my GitHub page. It fantastically, the Amazon Q client took the entire project, compiled all the files together, and I was able to easily export it over to GitHub. It was kind of beautiful. It created an entire README. Let's see, a faithful transition of the Flipper Zero Pokemon Showdown game to Python using Pygame. C structs to Python data classes, C enums to Python enums. Cool, because I haven't learned Python yet. I've only been worrying about C, so it's pretty cool to. I can use this as a learning tool as well, it seems like. Here we've got technical translation details, memory management. So it took all the things that I tried to account for previously, and it made sure we didn't have to worry about that here. Install Python dependencies. So that's if you go to code. Usually I run the GitHub client through my terminal, so I'll click copy command to clipboard, type that or paste that into the terminal, have it pull the GitHub repository, and then once you get that, once you're in that folder, you'll run Python install requirements, then run the game Python main p. That is something that I wanted to point out, and it's not a big deal, but I need to go back and fix this README file because I cannot run this game by using Python. I have to specifically state Python 3. And I thought I fixed that, but I guess I didn't. But that's been a recurring issue that I've run into while using this client. Overall, though, it's fantastic. It tells you exactly the original files that it transferred over to Python. So there you can see the Pokemon header file with all the data structures, the Pokemon types. I think there were all 151, including all the attacks, all the types, everything like that. So it took all that, took the C file, took the menu file, select screen, perfect. Color graphics, as you can see in the last game that was presented, it went full color. This is beautiful. So just to give you a little bit of reference, let me pull up the scene here. This is my Flipper Zero. So I am going to show you what exactly the original game looked like. Sadly, show you some of the mistakes because I'm still working on it, but we'll get there. Anyway, so let's go to games, and I'm not going to go through how to get all this stuff because that's not the point of this video. However, I named it Pocket Battle, and I forgot to change the name there, Showdown. So here you can select any of the 151. There it says you, tells you who it is. I can make this look a little bit nicer. Do Jigglypuff, okay, versus, we'll just say Bulbasaur. So here you can see there's a little bit of a sprite there. Still kind of a novice when it comes to importing them, but I am Jigglypuff. I need to fix it to where it goes over here. I think I got the X and Y axis messed up, but let's go ahead and use Ember because that's fire attack against grass. Okay, did 18 damage, 23. So as you can tell, it's pretty similar, very similar, and the fact that it was able to translate all of that data so smoothly was just absolutely crazy. Anyway, so let's go ahead and take a look at the actual process that the client wound up using. So I typed into the terminal Q chat, basically calling on the Amazon Q. Inject contents using hooks. Okay, so content hooks, that's something that I was instructed to do, but I guess I forgot. Anyways, let's see, here we go. That was from an earlier attempt at something that went poorly. Okay, so here I wound up trying to read some of this stuff to figure out how it all worked. Depth of 0, picture. Okay, that just shows me everything. Where is it? I found. Okay, here we go. Alright, this was the prompt that I used to basically give it access to reading my files. I forgot that I changed the name Pokemon Battle to Pocket Battle. Anyways, it was able to process that, hey, that doesn't exist. But what does exist is Showdown Current. And that's probably the closest one because within the files are Pokemon Battle related items. I thought that was pretty brilliant. Pokemon Battle game. And then it went ahead, it started reading all the files. Yes, trust. Okay. And then it took all of the data from inside and it transferred it into Python code. Beautiful. Beautiful. Here's all the stats for this was species data. That is the Python code. Yes, that is the Python code. There we go. Pokemon species. Yeah, because within the C code it was type struct define enum, and then at the bottom I put Pokemon types and I put all that stuff. Anyways, let's see. I believe it even showed me a comparison of what it transferred, of what it changed. Here we go. Yeah. Pokemon Battle Game, Faithful Translation, C Struct. So this is basically everything within the README. And then, so here it shows the original C structure that we had. The app state menu, select, battle, game over. Cool. And then the Python translation. Insane. That is so cool. So yeah, here's my type defined structure. Character name 16 bytes. Defines Pokemon. This is beautiful. So if you guys have any, basically what I'm getting at is, if you have a game written in a different language, this can pretty faithfully retranslate it to whatever language you want it to. Pretty incredible stuff. It took me about probably 20 minutes just for the entire process to run, but I mean, as you can tell, there's thousands of lines of code in this game. And it's very simple, but I'm looking forward to continuing to work with this. Made my life super easy. Hopefully somebody can use this to do what they want, do whatever they want in the future, have some fun. Yeah. Anyways, hope everybody has a great day and take it easy. Thank you.